Let's continue finalizing the third section. In this lesson, we're going to focus mainly on the footsteps. Okay, so let's bring back our control curves, and we'll also adjust our range slider. Okay, to again just focus on those steps, so we can bring it to frame 260 as our start time, playback start time. All right, and we'll start with that right foot because it is just a small step. So first, what we'll do, let's go to frame 294, and we'll key the raised toe because we're about to animate that. And what we'll do is just go to frame 297 and just raise up the raised toe here. And remember, it's just a small step, so we just want to raise it up slightly like this. And generally, footsteps are pretty small unless the character is doing something somewhat exaggerated. But let's go ahead and translate it up now too in the Y. So it's not going through the ground plane, probably a little bit lower. Alright, so when we scrub through, here's what we get. And on frame 299, we need to just drop the raised toe, so we'll put in a value of 0. So here's our first footstep when we hit play. Well, this would actually be the second, but our first adjustment, we'll hit play. Great, so our footstep's looking pretty good, but we're not quite finished yet. All we need to do is go to our perspective and graph view and adjust the translate Y, so we get a better feeling of weight in our step. And this is a really small step, so it wouldn't really matter here, but we still want to get into the habit of doing that. Okay, so to show weight, we'll just take this key where the foot is planted, break the tangency, and adjust the left half. So we get more of this type of arc. So here's the adjustment when we hit play. Check it out. Great, so now we're getting a better feeling of weight in our step. It's really coming down hard. And with that, that actually finishes up the right foot, and now we can start focusing more on the left. Okay, so we're going to get a few more channels into play here, like the raised toe and raised ball channels. Alright, so first off, let's go to about frame 277. Okay, while the character is rolling his foot up, we'll go to frame 277 and key the raised toe here at a value of 0. Then as the character is rolling his foot up at about frame 282, we want that foot rolled up more than this. So we'll just go to the raised toe and raise it up at about, let's see, at about right here. So here's a roll off we're getting when we hit play. And notice it's pretty abrupt. Okay, so we should also make an adjustment on frame 280 where the foot is back some more so that the roll off won't be as abrupt. So about right here. Let's see how that looks when we hit play. Alright, notice that's much better. Let's get in there. Great, and let's see. At about this time on frame 287, we're going to want to drop the raised toe because this is where we're going to animate the translate Y and also the rotate X, okay, which we can also use for steps to rotate X, but that's where we're going to animate it here. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and drop the raised toe. Alright, great. So here's what we're getting now. Okay, and there's our footstep. Now we have a few more things to do, but we're making good progress on it. So with the raised toe done for now, let's go ahead and start working on the raised ball channel. Okay, so we can select that in our channel box. And let's go to about frame, let's see. Let's go to about frame 280. And on 280, we'll just have a little bit more bend in our raised toe here. And on 282, the raised ball should be totally deactivated here, so we'll just put in a value of 0 on 282. And notice the roll off we're getting now. Great. So when we hit play, here's how it looks. Okay, it's coming along. And it is still looking pretty abrupt, but let's go ahead and start working on the translate Y and also the rotate X. Okay, so for that, what we want is the foot to start lifting up at about frame 282 here. So let's first go to frame 280 and key the translate Y at about this time. Then on 282, we'll just raise up the foot a little bit more and the translate Y there. Okay. And as the foot's coming forward on frame 287, we'll just translate the foot up a little bit more and we'll rotate it down in the X. Like that. So here's what we get. Okay. And we'll also need to go ahead and isolate the movement of the X. So we could just go to frame 282 and let's see. Well, actually, it's already isolated, so that's fine. All right, we already have a key there, so great. So now we'll hit play and see how our foot's looking. Okay, so it needs to plan on frame 292, so we'll just go there and just drop the rotate X, put a value of 0 there, and also the translate Y. So here's our footstep now when we hit play. And it's coming along. We're making great progress on it. One thing that's wrong with it from the side view is that it's raising up too slow. Okay, like it's coming forward too slow. Notice when at about frame 282, when it should start already coming forward, it's kind of stationary there and then it comes forward afterwards. So that's an adjustment we need to make in the Translate Z. We'll go to our perspective and graph view and we'll go to the Translate Z. And let's hit F so we can frame the curve and let's go to about the area we need to adjust. Okay, so it's right here. And we'll get a better view. And what we'll do is just take this key on frame 282 and move it down to about frame 280. So let's do that. So notice now when the foot rolls up and moves forward, it starts to move forward sooner when it should. Okay, so when we hit play, here's how our footsteps looking now. Great, so it's really coming along. One thing I think we could fix also is having it step a little bit sooner. Okay, because it seems like it's floating up for a little bit too long and then land. So let's just take this key on frame 292 and just move it down one frame. Okay, so now when we hit play, notice, alright, that's better. Now we're getting a really nice footstep. Great, but we've been checking it out in the side view. Let's go ahead and check it out in the front view. Okay, and notice the foot, as it's coming up, it should actually kick out more away from the body. Okay, so we need to work on that, and that's an adjustment we'll make on the rotate Z. So we'll key the rotate Z on frame 277, then at about frame 280 when the foot should start to kick out, we'll just go to the rotate Z and just move it like that to kick the foot out. So here's what we get. Bam, the foot kicks out and we'll have it plant on frame 291. So we'll just put in a value of 0. Great. So now's a great time to do a play blast to check out what we've been working on, to check out our steps, to see if we can fix anything else. So we'll find a nice view. How about more of this 3/4 view here? Here it is. Okay, so our steps are almost there. We just need to fix that pop in the left knee. So let's do that. We'll close out our F check and bring back our NURBS curves, and all we need to adjust is the raised toe channel. Okay, so for that, we'll go to about the time when the character starts moving up at around frame 272 and key the raised toe here at 0. And then at about frame 272, we'll just have the raised toe move up a little bit more here to put some bend in the knee. Okay, so here's what we get. And there's a little pop there still. Let's go ahead and see if we can adjust any of our tangency there. So we'll go to our perspective and graph view and check out our raised toe. And notice, yes, there are tangents we can fix. So let's adjust this one on 277 and also on 280 so we get a better flow. Then we'll scrub through our animation to see how it's looking. Great, so notice we get a better roll off with the foot. And let's also check out our Translate Y channel. Let's see how that's looking. Let's see if we can adjust any of the tangents here. Okay, we can make an adjustment on the Translate Y. Notice how the foot is kind of going through the ground plane there. So we can fix that. What we'll do is go to frame 277 and key the Translate Y. Okay, at 0. Then on about frame 280, we'll just raise up the foot here some so that it's not going through the ground plane. And we'll need to do the same thing for 282. We'll just raise it up like that and then adjust the tangency a little bit so we get a better flow. Great. Awesome. So now with those adjustments made, let's also make sure that the foot plants to show weight. So we'll just take this key on frame 291, break the tangency, and lift up the left half. Awesome. So there's our steps. Now we can do another play blast to check out our results. So again, we can do it for more of a 3/4 view. And we'll render one off. Here it is. Great. So there are our footsteps. And now with those things done, that completes this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll start working more on this section and work on getting it finalized.